morning, YouTube. This is the ShallowCross Sports Network with the Double A, bringing you a new show. This morning we're gonna do a quick show on Tennessee and what transpired over the weekend, and then we'll go with that. With that said, let's get right on into it. The Tennessee Vols basketball had a big performance this weekend, and it was very electric in Thompson Bowling Arena. The score was tied at 76-76, and Tennessee went down, and they were able to get a 5 seconds on Alabama trying to enter the ball into the court from that far end of the court, and they got a 5 seconds on them, and were able to get the ball back. And when that happened, Tennessee was able to get the ball passed all the way down to where Jamal Maschak was able to get off. Looked like to me it was about a 40-foot shot, and he was able to get that shot off and hit that shot with the closing seconds before the buzzer went off. And Tennessee beat Alabama 79-76. Big game. Tennessee was led by Chaz Lanier and Zakai Ziegler as far as scoring. And it was a big game for Tennessee because it keeps them in the running for a number 1 seed. And that's where you want to be when you start the tournament. I'm talking about the March Madness tournament. And I don't know who Tennessee has next on the schedule, but they did a very good job in basketball. And of course, the girls' basketball team is also doing well, but I think they lost over the weekend. And that was the case on them. I'll get back with you on some more things once I find the schedule there. But Tennessee's men still has 2 more games left. I think they have a game this week, and they also have a game scheduled for Saturday. And then I think the following week, the SEC tournament will start, and that'll be not this week, next week. And that's going to be at the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville. But anyway, also in addition to that, we'll switch over to football. Tennessee was able to pick up a edge rusher, Trey Edwards. I think he's out of New Jersey, 3-star, and he is going to bring some more competition to the Tennessee Volunteers for 2026 cycle. And Tennessee's still out there beating the bushes, trying to get players for the 2025 cycle. I don't know when they're going to have spring practice, and I don't know when they're going to have a spring game. They haven't announced yet. But one of the things that's going around, a lot of your schools are canceling their spring games. And that's based on the fact that other teams will see your players out there and try to recruit them, especially when when the April transfer portal opens. And so it's a lot of things going on with the transfer portal that that needs to be fixed and needs some legislation passed on. And and I think that's going to happen down the line. Some more news. Vol for Life, Trey Smith made his first Pro Bowl this year, and he was just franchised by the Kansas City Chiefs uh, for this year coming up. His contract was over with, and he was a restricted free agent, and they franchise tagged him. I think he'll make about $23.5 million for the 2025 season. And then next year he comes out again. Now this gives the team time to negotiate with Trey Smith and his team and his agents. And this will happen again next year if they don't get a contract negotiated. And so an NFL team can franchise tag you twice. And so that's the story. And then, of course, other news for Tennessee in football, Dante Thornton and James Pierce performed exceptionally well at the NFL Combine. James Pierce ran a 4.4 740, and he performed pretty good in most of the drills. Dante Thornton had the second fastest 40 time of any wide receiver, and it was 4.3 flat, and that's moving for a big guy like him, 6'5", 205. And of course, Dylan Sampson did not run. Drew McCoy, he did not participate. Maybe he has an injury or something, and I'll get more on that for you. I guess that was it as far as the Tennessee players at the Combine. Oh, Omar Norman Lott, he performed pretty well also, and but anyway, it was a good showing for Tennessee players. I wish they could have got some of the other players like Omari Thomas and Cooper Mays in the fold. But just looking at it, I'm gonna pull this up for you. But these are the draftable players for Tennessee, and like I say, you had James Pierce went to the Combine, and I've added Dante Spraggins and Andre Carrick. Now, Andre Carrick, he was trying to get a 6 year of eligibility due to the injuries he sustained, and he was turned down by the NCAA. And of course, Omar Norman Lott, he was at the Combine. Omari Thomas, he didn't get invited. And of course, Cooper Mays didn't get invited. And Elijah Simmons, he performed fairly well too. I don't have their results, but I'll get that information for you on my next show. Uh, Dylan Sampson did everything but the running, but running the 40, and I don't think he did do all right on the bench. Uh, and of course, John Campbell, I added him in also, and he didn't get invited to the combine either. And then Keelan Peedley, I added him in, and these guys should be able to work out for Tennessee's Pro Day. Now I'll get a list of the Pro Day dates for most of all the schools that I cover in the state of Tennessee. And then, but overall, uh, Tennessee performed well. Their players did, and just looking at the depth chart, you know, they have inked in ourlads.com has inked in Travis Smith as the number 2 receiver behind Mike Matthews, and then Amari Jefferson, who came in the transfer portal, they got him inked in behind Chris Brazzell, and then Radarius Jackson, another freshman, got him inked in behind Brandon Staley at the wide receiver. And Jakeem Johnson is inked in on the 3rd level there. Trey Weary is still back from last year, as well as Dayton Speed. And so we lost 2 players from the depth chart, Dante Thornton and Boo McCoy. And there was a ton of other guys that left in the transfer portal. And let's see where they got David Sanders. Got David Sanders inked in at the right tackle. And then they got Wendell Moore, the kid we got from Arizona, got him inked in at the guard. So that's what they've done so far with the new players. That's just on the offensive side of the ball. On the defensive side of the ball, they don't have any of the new players inked in as starters. But just looking at it, you got Bryson Easton at defensive tackle. The nose tackle is Jackson Moy. And then Dominic Bailey as that one defensive end. And at the Leo, you got Josh Joseph, who started last year. And then you got Tyree West, Nathan Robinson, Darwin Hobbs, and Caleb Hearn backing those guys up. And then you got Jordan Ross, who's gonna be pushing for Leo time. And then you got Tyrese Weathersby. And the freshmen have not been added in as of yet. But the linebackers, T. Lander, Carter, at the 2 starting linebackers, and then Spillman and Jordan Burns backing them up. And so you have some freshmen coming in there also. And then Jamal McCoy, he's hurt. So it looks like he's going to miss 2 or 3 ball games. And you got Caleb Beasley backing him up and Marcus Goree backing up Beasley. And then the strong safety is Andre Turrentine, who started last year. And then Christian Charles, who played right there behind Turrentine. So he'll be able to. And then let's see, who is it? It's Jackson Matthews. He's backing up Christian Charles. Free safety, Jacoby Thomas and Idris Farrar. And then we got John Slaughter at the 3rd position, and the right corner's supposed to be Gibson, but he's announced that he may go in the transfer portal during the April cycle. And then we got James McMurray backing him up, and then I don't know who they did, Montreal Bandy. Can't really make it out, but anyway, that's just a brief depth chart look at what Tennessee is going to be doing in the spring. And in the spring, you work out all your bugs and see who you going to have to compete in the summer. And it looks like they've got a pretty good selection of young guys back in that secondary and some old guys that started a lot last year. So it looks like we're going to be all right. Our whole entire offensive line is going to be rebuilt. And it looks like, David Sanders is going to be new. Let me pop that up to you one more time and let you look at that. But looks like David Sanders, the right guard, Wendell Moore, he's going to be the right guard. Sanders is going to be the right tackle. And don't know who going to be the left guard. And, of course, Lance Hurd is going to be the left tackle. He played there last year. And Satterwhite's going to be the center right there, backed up by Max Anderson. And then Larry Johnson, who played a couple of games, he's going to back up the Lance Hurd. And Jesse Perry is going to back up David Sanders. So they've got an abundance of offensive linemen. And we just have to see how they use them down the road. And another note, Tennessee has a 5-star power forward. They're on his list, Chris Senall, in basketball. And a 5-star Braden Burns is also looking at Tennessee also. And then I was looking at some of the players that Tennessee's looking at as far as basketball in the state of Tennessee. You got Preston Wade out of Murfreesboro, 6'8", 210, 4-star. Trey Thompson, another 4-star, 6'8", 220, out of Greenville. And then Marteco Hayes, 6'4", 173-pound guard out of Cordova, Tennessee. And then you have another kid out of Murfreesboro, 6'7", 185 pounds. And I think both the kids out of Murfreesboro are from the same high school. And Tennessee had Nate Arment in. I don't know if he was here for the Alabama game, but I believe he was here for that game that they played during the mid of the week, the following week. But Coach Barnes is doing an exceptional job getting kids recruited to replace what he's going to lose this year. And Coach Barnes has won 830 games as a head coach. And that's including Providence, Clemson, Texas, and Tennessee. But anyway, with that said, that's going to end this quick Tennessee show. And I'll have some more information for you in my next show. The next show I'm going to do is going to be a NFL draft show. And we'll tell you some more things about some of the players from Tennessee schools like Memphis and what they did in the combine. And we'll talk a little bit about what the Tennessee Titans are doing with that first round pick. This is the ShallowCross Sports Network. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next show. This is Double A. We're out.